Welcome back. The great Kel Richards coming up with the meaning of words. He's got some beauties tonight, so we'll get to that in a moment. First, though, we've got a panel. First up, One Nation Chief of Staff JamesAshby joins us, and Sky News contributor Jamie Rogers. James, surprise, surprise, the oil and gas company Equinor expected to abandon plans for, guess what, an offshore wind farm project near Newcastle. The government extended the deadline for its development licence until the end of August. Equinor privately announced plans to withdraw from the project. Offshore wind in this country, it would appear to me, James, is dead.
Yeah, it seems that way, and thank goodness, because nobody who lives in that area wants those offshore wind turbines. Steve, I did something a bit cheeky today. I went and looked up Chris Bowen's pecuniary interest. He has no investments in renewables. For a bloke that loves this stuff, not a single investment in hydrogen, hydro, wind turbines or solar, not one. So he's prepared to waste taxpayers' money on these projects, give extensions to these licences. No one wants them because despite all the millions and billions of dollars of taxpayers' money, these companies are starting to realise, A, social licence, they've blown that, and two, they can't make any money out of them. This is why net zero's got to go. One Nation is saying, and will continue to say it, end Australia's commitment to net zero and we will solve a lot of these problems.
Well, I'm saying I reckon Chris Bowen might have a pretty smart financial advisor. That might be what that tells you. Who would be advising people to put, their own hard-earned bucks into offshore wind projects that keep falling over? Jamie, I mean, we talk about, Newcastle, we talk about the south coast of New South Wales, even Gippsland and the coast of Victoria. All of these projects, no one's been able to make them add up. And yet, look, the people who live in those communities don't want to see that on the horizon, but the poor old farmers out in the bush, they've got no option, in Victoria at least. They're going to ram through the front gate of your property, stick these things up on your property whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's really concerning, isn't it, Steve? It's certainly not looking great for this green energy transition for Chris Bowen and the Albanese government with the news today. But it's not surprising when you consider the cost regarding the offshore wind farms. The CSIRO themselves said that they're 36% more expensive to be offshore than what they are on the land. And I think, to James's point, it's time that Chris Bowen takes his blinkers off and starts to look at other options like nuclear and lift that moratorium so that we can have a proper informed energy discussion and stop ruining our beautiful landscapes and farmers' land to be putting through all of these cable lines and these wind farms, because they don't want it, and neither do those communities with the offshore wind farm. Nobody wants it, so it's time to start looking at other options.
Simple question for you, James. Will the coalition, either side of it, the Nats or the Libs, have the courage to turn their back on net zero, do you think?
Well, we've tested this on the floor of Parliament only a week ago, Steve. We put that motion up, and only one Liberal and one National Party member had the courage to stay and vote against net zero. That was Matt Canavan and Alex Antic. And then on the other side of the bench, all the Liberals walked out bar two, and then they sided with Labor. So, no, at this moment, Labor have managed to convince the Liberal Party and the National Party that they're keeping net zero. The problem too is it was actually the coalition that introduced net zero to start with. They're the fools that kicked this off, and shame on them. Look, I take my hat off to Matt Canavan and Barnaby Joyce and Colin Boyce, who've got the courage from the Nats to speak out, but they are not the majority of that party anymore. And only in New South Wales, the state politicians down there just passed new legislation this week. I think Barnaby Joyce is writing an opinion piece on this. They've allowed now for people to go and just walk onto farmers' lands down in New South Wales. So this problem's only getting worse. The National Party don't realise how much chaos they've caused, both federally and state, by passing net zero.